Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a concept that completely challenges those traditional grueling hours of studying we're all so used to. It's called the Goldfish Method, and it proposes a pretty radical shift in how we approach our own cognitive limits. Is your attention span low? Think about that for just a second. So often, we approach this question with this massive sense of guilt, don't we? We sit down at a desk, open a book, and literally after a few minutes, our mind just wanders off. And what do? We shame ourselves. We think, man, I must not be disciplined enough, or I'm just not cut out for this. But what this method implicitly does is validate that exact feeling. Having a low attention span is a super common struggle. It's a reality for so many of us, and honestly, it is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Instead of fighting it tooth and nail, what if we just accepted it? It introduces a completely counterintuitive premise: studying like a goldfish. Now, when you picture a goldfish, rigorous academic scholarship probably isn't exactly the first thing that pops into your head. You think of a little animal darting around, highly responsive to its immediate environment, taking things in briefly before, well, moving on. There's a touch of lighthearted humor here that instantly diffuses all that anxiety that usually surrounds studying. It's basically telling us, hey, don't take yourself so seriously. It's totally okay if your mind darts around. We're actually going to lean into that exact tendency, rather than trying to force you to be some deep-sea creature built for the crushing pressure of a 3-hour marathon study session. Okay, let's dive into this. The Goldfish Method is defined as a study technique utilizing short intervals of 20 minutes for those with low attention spans. Notice the specific phrasing there. It doesn't say this is a method for fixing a low attention span. Nope. It says it's a technique for those with low attention spans. It's a completely tailored approach. It takes the reality of how your brain currently operates and builds a highly structured framework right around it. It essentially gives us permission to stop pretending we can focus for an hour and instead asks us to fully commit to just a fraction of that time. Traditionally, a low attention span is labeled as a barrier. It's seen as a negative, a reason why you can't succeed. But this method completely flips the script. It turns what we normally view as a total weakness into a direct blueprint for mastery. Actually, you aren't failing at studying for a long time. You are mastering the art of studying for a short time. It's a really profound shift in identity. You literally go from being someone who can't focus to someone who is an absolute master of the focused interval. 20. Just 20 minutes. This is the absolute core variable. Not 30, not 45, 20. It's a number that feels incredibly approachable, doesn't it? Anyone, no matter how distracted, can conceptualize dedicating just 20 minutes to a single task. The brilliance of this specific limit is entirely psychological. It creates a sense of urgency without creating a sense of dread. When you know you only have to hold your attention for 20 minutes, the mental friction required to just start studying, well, it virtually vanishes. The barrier to entry is completely lowered. And this brilliantly illustrates why brevity is the secret weapon here. Short intervals prevent overwhelm. I mean, when you stare at a massive textbook and think about reading it for 4 hours, your brain practically shuts down in self-defense. But short intervals? Those are manageable bites. They're highly digestible. The underlying logic is that the quality of your focus during a short interval far outweighs the quantity of time spent just staring blankly at a page during a long, grueling session. You're trading duration for intensity. And let me tell you, that is a trade that highly benefits the goldfish brain. The logic actually breaks down into a highly approachable 3-step procedure. Step 1, radical honesty. Acknowledge the low attention span. You have to start by admitting that long sessions just don't work for you. Step 2, set a 20-minute interval. This is where you put the framework into practice and draw that boundary. Step 3, achieve focus study. Because you've acknowledged your limits and set a strict, short boundary, the natural byproduct is actual, genuine focus. It's no longer a huge struggle. It becomes a simple, repeatable sequence. Acknowledge, set, achieve. So the crucial point is realizing how seamlessly these components fit together. The execution is incredibly simple. You acknowledge your limits, you actively choose to utilize short intervals, you put a hard cap on that time at exactly 20 minutes, and through that repetition, you master focused study. The absolute beauty of this approach is its simplicity. There are no complicated tracking systems, no complex philosophies to memorize. It is a direct, straightforward alignment of acknowledging your true nature and applying a very specific, time-bound constraint to unlock your potential. Notice the specific word chosen here, mastering. It doesn't say surviving. It doesn't say getting by with. It says mastering. This elevates the whole concept from a mere workaround or a crutch for easily distracted people into a highly powerful, deliberate strategy. When you cap your study time at 20 minutes, you're taking control. You're dictating the terms of your engagement with the material. You essentially become a master of your own cognition, optimizing the exact window of time where your brain operates at its absolute peak performance.
So what if a low attention span isn't a barrier at all, but a blueprint? The Goldfish Method asks us to completely abandon the grueling traditional habits that just make us miserable. It asks us to look at our natural tendencies not as flaws that need to be fixed, but as the exact specifications for building a better way to learn. So the next time you have a daunting task in front of you, don't force a marathon. Embrace the goldfish, set a timer, and see what you can master in just 20 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today, and I really hope this sparks a brand new, highly focused chapter in your learning journey.